People don't buy products. They buy how those products make them feel. And man, there are 5 feelings that matter the most.
Let's go. I don't know what comes next, but I couldn't care less. I refuse to feel stressed. There's no fear in my chest. Hit a move with my steps. Walk away from the pain I've been through. This feeling I'm feeling is brand new. This is the moment I break through.
Welcome to 10-Minute Masterclass, your weekly mic drop for business breakthrough. I'm your host and lead MC, Trey Sheneman, and each week on 10-Minute Masterclass, our goal is to translate timeless business principles to help you solve today's business problems. Now, we do that through a modality that I call the core 4 drivers of growth, because no matter when I was taking my own startups to market or when I was running growth inside of some well-known brands, I always saw the capacity for growth inside of those organizations connected to their mastery of the 4 core drivers of growth: marketing, sales, operations, and leadership. In today's episode, we're going to drill down into that sales bucket of growth, and we're going to talk a lot about advertising. In my core, running ads is kind of the most specialty area for me personally. I've been spending money on Facebook for 14 years, on Google for 12, TV for 9. I think I've done 50 or 60 different television commercials at this point that I've helped produce. And so advertising is a core area for me. And I think advertising is the bridge between marketing and sales. So we're going to talk about it in the sales bucket today. And really, we're going to lean into the emotional side of the way the brain works in really compelling, effective selling. When information enters our brains, it comes into the right side of the brain first, the emotional side of our processor on the front end, and then it moves to the left side, the logic side of our brain. And so in that right side of the brain, like, we are able to process information so much quicker. We're operating in the quick centers of our brain, not the slow centers like the logic side. And so having really, really good products and just talking about really, really good products without leaning into the way those products make people feel actually forces people that are our prospective customers to have to work a lot harder to understand who we are and what we do. So if your sales haven't been converting a lot lately, I would really challenge you to lean into the feelings that your sales team, that your ads, if you're an e-commerce company, that your landing pages, the feelings that messaging is really trying to imbue to your audience, because that might be where you're getting hung up. So today, I want to really drill in for you onto the 5 feelings that I see work to drive conversions. And this is over, at this point in my career, I'm really fortunate. It's hundreds of millions of dollars of revenue that I've been connected to in a lot of different industry. And no matter what the industries have been, these 5 feelings, these 5 emotions are the ones that I have seen really, really move the needle for our customers. So before we jump into what those are, I want to encourage you to think about the headspace your target avatar, your persona, is in when they see your ad, or they get on the phone with you, or they come to your event, wherever that sales medium is that you're controlling. Are they frustrated? Are they downtrodden? Are they energetic? Like where are you in the psyche of who they are? Like, what are you selling? Because the best brands can match one of these 5 feelings to that situation in a really compelling way. So make sure you're thinking about your customer before you choose which one of these 5 you're going to do. So let's run through them. The first one is hopefulness. The way that I say hopefulness as a feeling is it makes people dream again. People love to buy into the idea of a better future, and great brands help customers see themselves as a part of some transformational journey that they're on, that the product helps create in their life. This kind of advertising tends to work really well in the fitness space, or the wealth space, or the career space, or the self-improvement or self-help space, as some might call it. Again, I'm going to talk about this brand a lot. I love Nike. Nike's Just Do It is more than their shoes being shoes on your feet. They're shoes that are going to make you do something, that are going to be hopeful about a better you that you're chasing down. Masterclass, great online learning platform. It's the idea of they've singled out the best and the brightest minds in individual areas, and you get to learn from the best. You can be hopeful about self-mastery. So hopefulness. The second feeling is belonging. This is make them connect, make them belong. Humans are wired for connection. We buy brands that align with our identity or that make us feel a part of a group. This is going to work if you're selling some sort of a recurring revenue community, if you're selling some sort of an identity around your products. So clothing brands will do a lot with this, with fashion. A lot of tech companies are really GitHub for engineers. They're really focused on this idea of come where you belong. And so belonging can be a really powerful emotion that you can want to make people feel. Are you ready for predictable growth in your business? Then I encourage you to check out the Compass Method. It's the unique framework we use for businesses to help them grow to $10 million and beyond. If you're interested in finding out more, shoot me an email at trey@weareherald.co. The third one is conviction. Make people angry. Anger really fuels action. If people can get really frustrated about something and they want to change it, they will. So positioning your offer as a solution to a really frustrated moment in somebody's life can create some pretty diehard fans. This is going to work specifically in industries where there's a clear villain or where you can make somebody the clear villain, and you can use the anger directed at that villain and inviting your customers to come be a part of your tribe that's trying to take that villain down. Tesla, in some ways, is the rebellious person against the villain of gas cars. They want to end fossil fuels. He's not just selling EVs, he's selling rebellion. Dollar Shave Club, they were the rebellious group that was like, hey, you can buy your razors on a subscription. You don't have to go to the store. Think about where you fit, and if anger is one that you can use. Now, the fourth one, and I'm biased to this because it's my favorite, is nostalgia. Nostalgia is where you make people remember. This is where people buy how they used to feel. They remember, they reflect how they used to feel. They want to go back to the good old days, and your product can help them do that. So if your product has a heritage angle to it, or a throwback arm, or it's something that creates or plays off of generational experiences like toys or shows or things of that nature. Stranger Things comes to mind with the 80s revival that Netflix rolled out around the nostalgic look of Stranger Things. That's a really compelling way for you to lean in and get people to act. And the fifth one is humor. If nostalgia makes them remember, humor makes them forget. A really funny ad makes you just laugh for 20 or 30 seconds, and it kind of distills down in your brain that people don't take themselves too seriously. They take what they do seriously, but they don't take themselves too seriously, and it's entertaining. I tend to see humor work for ads that are really stale, or industries, that are really stale. Insurance, finance. That's why, Allstate has Mayhem as an example. It's funny. Geico has the gecko, has Hump Day with the camel. These things are funny. They make something that's otherwise pretty stagnant a bit more interesting. Old Spice, wish your man could smell like the man he was supposed to, and the guy that's like half Minotaur. I mean, it's just outlandish stuff, but it's very memorable because it's funny and it sticks. So again, what you want to do is you want to think about your customer's pain before they're coming to see what your product can do. You want to then understand the psychology of what they're in, and you want to work through these 5 different core emotions to figure out which one of these can I pair to make sure that I'm going to move them to action most likely. Now, here's the catch. Don't feel like you have to just use one, okay? Be willing to test into a couple of different combinations of these emotions, and it might be that you pair them together. Like, you start with nostalgia to get them thinking through what it used to be like, and then you pair it with a hopefulness ad of a world that they can be a part of creating again. That's what our most recent president has done a lot of. He used nostalgia to just 4 or 5 years ago, and he spun it into this hopeful campaign around the changes that he was going to make, whether you like it or not. Just analyzing the campaign structure of what he did with some of his messaging. That's why he did Make America Great Again. Like these are direct psychological principles in marketing and messaging that we can learn from as business builders. I have now said Musk and our current president in the same podcast, so who knows? I'm sure some of you are going to take an offense to that, but I can learn from everything that's out there. So another strong couplet of these emotions that I'll see sometimes is conviction or anger and belonging. Hey, these people are bad at what they're doing, but we are good at what we're doing. So be mad at them and come be a part of what we're doing, because we're doing it in a new and unique, fresh way. So you can pair these things together. If you don't ever do anything else that you hear on this podcast and you just do these exercises and the way you work on your positioning and your messaging, I am quite confident your business is going to grow. I've seen millions and millions and millions of dollars come through campaigns that are anchored into these combinations. So please take this to heart. Literally, it's an emotional talk. So take it to heart and make sure that you're speaking to the right side of people's brains, not just in the left. We want to reduce calories, make it easy for people to buy, and they buy when they are in that right brain thinking. Thanks so much for listening. We'll catch you on the next episode of 10 Minute Masterclass. See you on the flip side.